Hello everyone. In the previous meditation, I used the frequency of Tanzanite. Today, I would like to talk about the spiritual qualities of Tanzanite and what it can do for you and what it can do for this year. I would declare the stone for this year because of its spiritual properties. What you're about to hear, you cannot read in any book. So tune into it to see whether it resonates with you or not. We have so far 7 frequencies and beams which are resonating on this planet. 7 rays, if you may. Like the rainbow, with its 7 streaks. Right now, there is a preparation of an 8th ray which is supposed to restructure this planet. Each ray of these frequencies working on Earth and with Earth have a gemstone associated with it. And this is a very new frequency which helps us to change this planet into a higher vibration. Very high frequency being work at this moment on this planet with us humans together on the 8th frequency or ray of light. This will bring many changes, and I'm getting chills right now because thinking about it, all the changes in the end will be for the glory of the light and not for the darkness. This 8th light beam or ray is blue like violet or blue lilac or bluish magenta violet lilac. It's exactly the frequency of Tanzanite. And that's why Tanzanite, this blue lilac lavender and a little bit of magenta hue underlaying, it's a very unique frequency, and that's why the Tanzanite is associated with this ray of light. Tanzanite, as you might well know, is only found in one place on this planet Earth, and that's Tanzania, after it was named. It is not really of this world. It was seeded into this world by high-frequency beings as assisting and an anchor to this to this transformatory beam of light to anchor this beam onto this planet. Interesting that I'm about to lose my voice because yesterday when I tried to record this video 2 times, my computer crashed and it took about 5 hours to fix it. So it's interesting that now I'm supposed to be shut down while relating this message. Nevertheless, we will move on. So, as it is not from this world, it is a symbol of the cosmic blue worlds. Kabbalistic, it belongs to the tree of life, to the higher frequency worlds, to the worlds of the higher dimensions, if you want to say it like that. It has been a long time in the making, and actually in our time span about 45 years seems to be a long time. In a sense, in a cosmic reality, it's just a blink of an eye. When you look at the Tanzanite up close, then you will see that it has these different hues, these different shades. And not every Tanzanite is the same. So Some are more blue, some are more deep violet, some are more light lavender. All of them have their purpose. So don't think when you purchase the Tanzanite, oh, this one is better quality, this one is darker, so it has to be stronger, it has to be better. No, it's like a range of things. One thing I have to say though, that is when you work with Tanzanite, choose one which just resonates. And best is raw Tanzanite because they have not been manipulated and just have the raw power, the unbound power, not the faceted power, not the bound power. Faceted can bring many stones to more sparkle and more light, but in the end can also change a little bit the structure and integrity of the stone. So raw, in this case, is king. And luckily for us, the raw stones are oftentimes a little bit less expensive than the faceted ones. When we look at Tanzania, then we had seen a lot of political unrest there. Now, the stone, when it was seeded and discovered, helped the economy and helped a lot of people to a next level. When we look at the word and we change it from Tansa to Satan or Satan, then it indicates that this stone will actually reverse satanic influences. In this anagram is hidden the resolution from the word Tanzania to, reversal of the dark forces. The eighth beam manifests on this planet light into the darkness, transforming light. And when we look at purple and violets oftentimes associated with the third eye center, and opening the third eye center as well as transformatory energy. So all the hues of violet, purple, bluish violet, bluish purple, and also the underlying energy of magenta, a very, some descriptions I read about the mineral like a burned red. I don't see anything burned red in most stones, but more magenta, but it's up to the eye of the beholder, I guess. So this stone, I had it written down, so that's why I'm looking at my notes a little bit. This stone will help to loosen up the density of the darkness anchored here on this planet. And it will so accumulate its beam, the anchoring of the eighth ray, that the dark forces have to just give in and give up, almost like, shoo, go away. Like, almost like an explosion, but a slow explosion, if that's even possible. So, as well as in Africa, we will also see changes going out from Tanzania, where dark forces try to enslave the country, will then be freed, and more freedom and more light will be going out from this country as well. So the anchor of that frequency and stone and light beam together was born or created on the 24th of December in 1993, as far as I know. But the stone itself was there before, accumulating momentum for this connection to arise. The second and third anchoring into the stone has happened now. Actually, we are right in the third anchoring where the light beam is multiplied to work with this tanzanite, and that's why I was called to mention it in the meditation and to mention this stone to you, to maybe wear it or look at it or connect through the stone with this transformatory light beam on this planet, and therefore become a acupuncture needle on this planet in physical form, in humanoid form. What I would recommend for you to work with this frequency, if you have adverse situations, for example, if you have somebody who gives you a hard time, if you have somebody who is almost like an enemy, if you have somebody who, I don't want to say hate, but you really dislike, bring this lavender bluish frequency with this gentle hue of magenta fully through you. Then close your eyes and envision the other party in front of you. It can also be groups. And then send out this frequency of light to them too. But it always has to go through you first. Why? Because we always have to purify ourselves first before we do anything with anybody else. Otherwise, it would be superimposed and we would left out in the transformatory process, because there might be some seedlings of our thought not pure or not high vibration. So always let it first through you before you bring it into anybody else. And then after you have envisioned this frequency going into the other party or into the group, let it just do its thing. The magenta is also, this particular magenta frequency is a frequency I first encountered in the healing work on cancer women or cancer patients. And this frequency came in from their feet when I worked on them and went through the whole body. In some cases, it helped the healing and helped the healing against scar tissue or healing per se. I do not claim that I snipped the finger and healed anybody from cancer, but I definitely did some significant work to either help in ease of transition or in ease of symptoms and in accelerating any kind of healing process if it was possible and meant to be. And this magenta was a soft mothering energy with balancing out energy holes in the aura, transforming with tremendous love, very potent loving, not the soft pinky loving, but very potent loving, with a hue of transformatory energy combined. And it was very feminine, as if people who never were loved by their mothers or by even anybody, or they didn't love themselves, could finally now start accepting themselves and loving themselves. And I think that's what brings this magenta and anchoring it into the Tanzanite is such an important frequency, because the Tanzanite with the blue calming things down, making things, expressible, and the lavender or violet transformatory frequency, plus then this undertone, not very visible if you do not look for it, but when you tune into it, you will see it emerging. Maybe not in the very bluish hues, but in the more regular, and you can definitely see it in a lot of raw pieces. Especially if you compare it with blue or, like say an amethyst stone, you will see the difference what I'm talking about. And this magenta will then activate in us this, oh, I can love myself again. I can heal the woundedness of feminine energy. I can heal the woundedness of maybe not being loved by a mother or not being loved at all. So it smoothes and creates a platform where more love can happen. And when you see this combination, this frequency combination, you see where that's going. So when you work with this light beam for yourself or for others, you will be able to express yourself in a more loving way towards yourself and others. You will transform any kind of negativity in you and others, dark thoughts, aggressive behavior, because the blue calms you down or calms them down, and then the smoothing over of energy holes with a magenta. I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit on the 8th ray anchored on this planet Earth. And another time we will talk about the 9th ray, the one which now is supposed to carry us home. I worked with it in the last meditation too. It's this white crystalline light with a lot of sparkling energy. And I give you already a little hint. That frequency works with your third eye, and the third eye is as large or as going from here to here. So this whole area is the third eye. So I hope that gives you some enjoyment, and have a wonderful day. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.